listening to Our Two Satoshis podcast with hosts Justin and Billy from CryptoBiz.com.
So Billy, remember about 4 weeks ago when I talked about the first time that it was the first time I bought Litecoin, and it was because of the LitePay Foundation?
Right, and I still haven't, by the way. Still have any Litecoin.
Well, I no longer hold it, so the whole reason that I got into it was because the LitePay Foundation was announced that they were going to be launching. They were going to launch a debit/credit card that could be used with, Litecoin and other assets, and then they were going to be working with some retailers all across Europe to be able to process cryptocurrency payments. Well, that was pumped up by, even Charlie Lee, one of the founders of Litecoin, but that's crashed and burned in the last 30 days. So now apparently LitePay is ceasing operations.
From what? What happened? They just didn't deliver, or?
Well, I mean, what I read, and I don't have all the details of it, but what I read is that there was they were initially supposed to kick off that card, and that got put to the back burner, and then they were going towards the merchant processing for various merchants. And then apparently, from what I gather, LitePay ran out of money and went back and asked the Litecoin Foundation for more money. And the Litecoin Foundation said, okay, well, where did you spend the money we gave you before? And LitePay couldn't really tell them. So Litecoin Foundation said, no, we're not giving you any more money.
Definitely not on my yacht. It wasn't there.
Yeah.
Or my new house.
So apparently the CEO of LitePay is now looking at selling the company, and the CEO's name is, where is his name at? Kenneth Sara. So they're ceasing all operations, and they're actually looking at selling LitePay now. So,
Jesus.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that? Yeah.
Yeah, because that was a big deal for a while. Litecoin was going to hit the moon on that news.
Oh, it shot up based on that. And today with this news, it's down 10% because of this. I mean, obviously there are other factors, but this is a big one right here.
Yeah, I mean, that the market's, continuing downward. And, I'm still holding with my previous prediction that we're forming that cup and handle shape. So right now, based on that shape, we haven't hit bottom yet. For better or worse. We're still going to see some downside.
On that topic right there, I actually just answered a survey that Vinny Lingham from Civic, and he's Shark Tank South Africa guy, but he's got a survey going on right now on Twitter that he posted up 39 minutes ago, and it's, how long will this crypto bear market last? And the 4 options are nearly over, 3 more months, 6 more months, and until next year. So right now, with 41% of the vote is nearly over, 25% says 3 more months, 11% says 6 more months, and 23% say until next year.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're between 3 and 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think June, July, the summer, we're going to see that upward trend. It'll probably be a strong upward trend, but we still have some downside. Just for the sake of argument, I'm probably going to say 6,500 as our bottom.
You go down to 65?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we saw a good, push last week, a good run after G20 announced that they weren't going to do anything. They didn't think cryptocurrencies needed to be regulated.
Yeah.
That was looking good there for a while, but I mean, we were up over 9K again, but now we're back down below. I think we're below 8 now. When I checked it about a half hour ago, we were.
Yeah, and if you look at the 1 year chart, or even the 6 month and stuff like that, it's definitely looking like there's a downward slope.
Well, actually, talking about that 1 year chart, you and I were talking the other day, remember, where you were saying you went out and you were talking to somebody, and when they found out that you were into cryptocurrency, they were Like,
Oh,
oh
yeah,
my
that's
God, you've lost a lot, huh?
busting
Haven't
my balls. Like, fuck out of here.
you? Yeah.
What, you down like 70% right now?
Yeah, but it's only up, what, 700% in the last year?
Yeah. Like, scale out. Talk to me. Widen your gaze, sir. I'm just sitting here
So,
looking at this YouTube. I was watching this video on YouTube, Lil Windex, which was like we referenced him in a previous article last week about some of the Twitter accounts that make us LOL. We definitely need to link that up in our show notes. Lil Windex, cleaning up. Or
yeah.
he has a Bitcoin Cash music video, which I haven't watched yet, but I kind of want to right now.
Wasn't that like a Business Insider or a Forbes article or whatever that
Oh, yeah.
title was?
Yeah, so
Here's what's wrong with Bitcoin, according to
Yeah,
Little
one of the
Index.
accounts that we follow actually retweeted Business Insider, and the title of the article on Business Insider was "What's Wrong with Bitcoin?" According to 25-year-old rapper Lil Windex. I was like, Jesus, they're really struggling to get some content out.
Well, no wonder people that are outside of this look at us like we're idiots. We got Business Insider talking about Little Windex.
Like, how is he, a reputable person? How is he a credible? My God, if you can see this guy, he has like this like Chucky orange hair, really skinny white dude, gold chains. The people behind him have like actual Windex bottles, and they're spraying.
Oh my
Jesus.
God, it's boy.
Yeah.
Well, it's an attention grabber. I guarantee you, Business Insider got a lot of hits on that.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing in my life right now. Watching
And then
him.
they followed up with, here's what's wrong with Bitcoin according to Warren Buffett. Like, I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Try harder, guys.
It's hilarious. So you and I, we have these daily conversations. I know over the last week, the big thing that you've been into so much is when you wrote about this, but creating masternodes. But what's the new one that's on your radar now? Elaborate.
Yeah, so I came across this. It's a service. It's a platform that basically takes care of all of essentially the code writing or the copy and pasting into the into the prompt, the command line, so to speak. So basically, what you do is they offer. I think right now they have 5 different coins, and it changes. They're going to be adding more as they move forward. But basically, what they do is you pay them, I think, $12 in either Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash for right now. But they actually have their own token that's going to serve as like the currency for this platform, this masternode ecosystem, so to speak. But basically, what they do is you pay them $12, and they take care of your VPS, virtual private server, and they take care of the IP address as well. So all you're doing is you're paying them for that hosting. You're picking out what masternode you want to set up. You go to that coin's website. You grab their wallet for your platform, whether it's Windows, Mac, whatever. Then you go to the exchange where that coin is. You buy that certain amount of coins, and they're all different. Some of them are 1,000, some require 10,000. Once you have that set amount, you basically create this new address in your wallet that tells the platform to look at that address in your wallet to make sure that you still have that 1,000 or whatever that number is. And that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a lot of copy and pasting, but the whole process is probably half an hour once you get those coins from the exchange. So it's pretty sweet.
Well, let's kind of label this because we didn't say what the name of it is, but it's gincoin.io, G-I-N coin.io. And they actually have their own token on there, the Gin token that you can set up a masternode with as well. Yep. But I remember you telling me, like, what were the biggest issues that you ran into? There was like 2 main ones, right?
You mean as far as masternodes in general or this platform?
This platform. So wasn't it like, I mean, I'll let you elaborate on it, but just the two that I'm thinking of that you referenced to me was one, you and I use Mac a lot. So finding tokens with a Mac wallet. And then wasn't the other one like these tokens that are on here? They're on like some,
Right.
hidden little exchanges. So actually the liquidity.
Right, yeah. So right now they're kind of, so here's the thing. I think this is why they're choosing these types of coins is because they're community based. Like the community, like on their Discord app, has basically been suggesting these various tokens to set up masternodes with on their platform. So naturally, the community is going to pick the best ROI, right? So the thing about the projects that have the best ROI are going to be the ones that are the smallest communities that have the least amount of masternodes that are set up just to not pump and dump, but they aren't, the best projects. But they have said, gincoin has said that moving forward, they're going to have, Dash is going to be a possibility. They haven't said Syscoin, but I imagine that's going to be a possibility. And having these bigger, more reputable projects. So right now, they're still kind of getting their feet wet with what's essentially is more or less like an alpha phase project. But the community is really, really strong. The Discord channels really active. The team is really good at customer support. So so to kind of go back to what you were saying, it can kind of be a pain to get these coins off an exchange because the volume's so low. So that's one thing. And then two, I'm a Mac, so I had to find coins that they offered that were also had a wallet for a Mac. But it turns out most of these
sounds like a new good Apple slogan. I'm a Mac.
Exactly. Well, it's kind of cool though because prior to this platform, it was hard to identify what coins had a Mac wallet, but most of these actually do, which is I'm sure just coincidence. But it's been really easy since I started using this platform. I got 2 masternodes running right now, Kraken and LuckyBit. But I mean, it's baller, man, because it's kind of a sideways market right now. So I'm making money. I'm not going to do anything.
I hadn't set up a masternode before, but I'm going to be doing that here shortly on Gen. Just since you've done it, I want to give it a try. But one of the questions that I had was like, so for instance, let's take Kraken as an example. Can you say like you get paid out like every 3 hours? It's supposed to be every 3 hours?
Roughly, right? So there's a lot of variables because the block time is different for each coin. The time that you get paid out is different depending on how many masternodes are participating. But there's, it all depends on the coin itself, and how quickly you get paid and how frequently you get paid, and how many times per day.
For Kraken, you had to have like 2,500 for the masternode. I believe is what it was. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was like $250 was like the total cost.
Okay. So that 250 or that 2,500 sits in your wallet, and then basically you get paid. I think it was you were showing me like every 3 hours. I mean, the time frame obviously varies, but it was like you get paid like 11 tokens of Kraken, and that just those 11 tokens then just get sent to your wallet address, right?
Exactly.
So after your first payout, instead of having 2,500, you had 2,511 or whatever sitting in there. Yep. What happens like if you, or maybe you, I don't know if you have the answer to this, but say you let it sit in there, and I think Kraken is set to pay you out 100% after 30 days, right? So theoretically, after 30 days, you should have 5,000 tokens sitting in there.
Right.
Do you have to then take the other 2,500 if you wanted to set up another masternode? Or is there the ability that you probably have to go through that process, right?
Yeah. As far as I know, you would have to actually basically create a new address, like a different address within your wallet, and create like another server. Gotcha. So these are all separate, standalone masternodes.
So with Gen, then let's say you just had that crack and you pay them $12 a month. You set up another masternode, you got to pay them another $12 a month, so it's like $24. And at that point, okay. Yeah,
but I mean, so far I've had it running since the 21st, and I have almost $35. So it's right on track with what they actually say on, not they, but Masternodes Online actually gives you the stats for various masternodes.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, in which, these numbers change, of course, based on the value of the coin, how many masternodes are in the network. But right now, it says the weekly income for the Kraken masternode is about $35.
Well,
So, I mean,
and then if you wanted to sell those, you got to send them up to that one exchange, but you got to worry about the liquidity problem, potentially.
exactly. Yeah, so you have different options, right? Like you could play it safe and take like your daily income and go to the exchange and cash out. Because, exchanging $5 worth isn't that hard on a low volume exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to cash out, $5,000 worth is a whole different story. So it's one of those things where you just gotta, kind of compare and look at the project itself. Is it going to be around? Is it worth holding? Or is this just one of those things where it's more of a risky investment? And for me, this is a one of those riskier investments.
Yeah, well, because of the
But it serves its
token.
purpose.
But on the flip side, I mean, this is
Like gincoin isn't. I actually really like gincoin and their platform, but Kraken, that project is, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I would suggest anybody give this a try because this is a much better option than doing like BitConnect, or something like that. Like this, you're actually getting a return and you have full control over your assets.
Yeah, and if you don't want to do it anymore, you can just sell what you have, and then you no longer run that master node.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really straightforward. I mean, they make it really easy, and it's awesome because right now, in this market, it's really tough to make money. And so here's a way to just stake your coins, kind of like set it and forget it, and you're making returns every single day.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool.
Have you looked at, because I talked to you about this the other day, but we haven't talked since, but actually doing a gincoin masternode, one of their token?
Yeah, I keep, it's funny. I'm moving some funds over to take care of that, and I look at the cost of it every day, and it keeps going up by like 25%. Like, it's getting more and more expensive.
How much is it now for a gincoin one?
Let's see here.
Because I'm actually that's the one that I'm thinking about doing. Because if this platform takes off, I mean,
yeah. So right now it's about $2,200.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it? Does it tell you what their payout is usually? What's their monthly?
Yeah. So the monthly on that is $631.
So you're getting about.
I mean, not bad.
Yeah. That's roughly 25% monthly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a hell of a return for doing nothing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's worth playing around with. I mean, it's definitely, most of my portfolio is geared towards Syscoin masternode, but that's just cool to get your feet wet with the whole masternode process and have some other stuff making money for you.
Yeah, and
diversified.
Syscoin 3.0 is supposed to be coming out on the 31st, so that's when they release their masternodes, right?
Sir.
That's only, 5 days away? That's exciting.
I feel like we've been waiting for that for ever.
I know.
Been talking about that every freaking episode.
And I sent you the video the other day, but I watched the video of Sebastian Shepis from Syscoin, the creator, and he's the CIO, I believe, Chief Information Officer. Mm-hmm. And the video of his was great, like in the fact that the knowledge and information that it gave you. Mm-hmm. We love Syscoin. Nothing against Sebastian or anything, but he looked a little nervous on the video, And when I watched it, he's explaining all these great things that Syscoin can do. Like, you can create this decentralized marketplace like eBay on the web. And you could look at the crowd, and the crowd's not, reacting to it and stuff. And it's like, dude, explain that a little bit differently. Like, say, this can create a marketplace online that people that live in countries that their government puts control over things that they can buy and stuff.
Yeah, it was very kind of matter
They won't
of
have control over that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was he definitely wasn't Steve Jobs up there. But it's also why I kind of like him, though, too, because that whole team, they're just about the work. They aren't trying to pump anything.
Mm-hmm.
which, for better or worse, I think if this was a scenario where they had a PR company and I'm very confident they will start putting out a lot more content once the platform is out, but they're trying to get the product out first before they market it, which is the proper way to do it. But if they took the approach of Tron, this thing would be like $35 before launch.
Yeah, I mean, really, they've already got more built out than something like Tron does. I mean,
it's actually like a real product.
Yeah, and it's like a fraction of the cost right now. Whenever I go on Bittrex and I look at Syscoin, and it's got the volume is like minuscule. I think this thing is going to blow up once, Syscoin 3.0 comes out, once Block Market Web comes out, once Masternodes. It's like a sleeping giant right now.
Yeah, it's insane how nobody's talking about it, but it goes back to what we just said. They aren't marketing it.
Yeah.
It's too real. That's something else too, right? It's like if the project isn't tangible, but it sounds like it's a moonshot, people are going crazy for it. If it's a real thing in the world and it's working, whatever.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And they're even they're talking about their Block Foundry being put on the Toronto Securities Exchange as well.
This couldn't be any more legit of a product.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing. Kind of talking along the lines there of different tokens and stuff. You actually brought this up to me today, the tweet from Coinbase. So that was...
they can start supporting ERC20 tokens.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It says in the coming months, air quotes right now, and we're not, announcing any specific assets, but that could have a big turn for the market right there if people can buy straight into a bunch of ERC20 tokens with fiat.
It's like the faucet is opening.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm looking at this thing right here. It's got 1,600 retweets and over 3,000 likes. That's big.
I'm curious what their first one's going to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's a guessing game. Of course, you have people. I'm looking directly at the tweet here, and the first one is Tron.
Of course it is.
We won Tron, and then hey, when is Tron? Next person. It's supposed to make me rich.
Exactly. When do we moon?
That's hilarious. I'm actually excited. Would be excited if it was basic attention token, someone else is mentioning on here.
I can see that.
Well, yeah, I mean, so basic attention token under the radar. You and I were supposed to go to their meetup a week ago up in New York City, but problem was the weather that came through and ended up getting canceled. Huh?
Snowmageddon.
Yeah, Snowmageddon. But BAT, so they've been making huge strides. So initially it was using the Brave browser, you go to certain websites that are verified publishers, which we at CryptoFizz are. Then it was YouTube channels. So if you link up your YouTube channel as verified. So our YouTube channel is as well. Well, just the other day, they released a plugin for Chrome that now it's not just the Brave browser. It's in Chrome as well, where the basic attention token will work.
Nice.
And they just ended their $1 million BAT giveaway, and we at CryptoFizz got a nice little chunk from that for being verified publishers. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
Yeah, it's one of those slow and steady projects. They're doing it right.
Mm-hmm. There was actually mention of this in an article the other day that Google is actually behind on this now and is scrambling because when they talked about shutting down, no longer allowing cryptocurrency ads, one of the reasons that I read in an article is that they're behind companies like Basic Attention Token and the Brave browser.
Yeah, they're like, oh shit. Need to catch up.
Yeah. So that's exciting news right there. And then
I saw, isn't Twitter going to start banning ICO ads tomorrow? I came across something today that was saying that.
Yeah, I saw Twitter's going to start doing something against cryptocurrency ads as well.
Yeah.
I think it's funny. They're going to ban ads like that, but yet 50% or more of the users on Twitter are fake accounts.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like, clean up your goddamn platform first before you.
Yeah, do as we say, not as we do.
Yeah. And actually, on that same Google, Twitter talk there, the hashtag delete Facebook is still trending like crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm curious how long that's going to last. Like, is it a fad, or is it going to be the start of a broader movement?
Well, Elon Musk had Tesla take down all of their Facebook pages, and then in the cryptocurrency world, the first ICO on the Syscoin network, Coin Payments, they just took down their page off of Facebook today.
Yeah.
So it's, I think the biggest news, forget the Cambridge Analytica thing that came out. Biggest news that I saw today, and I told you about this right before our podcast, but a developer did his archive of his Facebook account. He has an Android phone,
Mm-hmm.
and he found in the archive data that since he used Messenger, apparently Facebook says this was an opt-in, but I don't know. Since he used Messenger for the last couple of years, Facebook has tracked all of his incoming and outgoing calls. Not ones done within Messenger, but just ones done on his phone, period.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah. Why? Why do
and
you
they
need
don't
that?
think that's a problem?
Exactly. Yeah, it's definitely not good PR.
No, not at all. I mean, this just opens it up right there to, who knows? Tron or some other, platform, crypto, social media platform that's going to pop up. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this could be, one of the nails going into Facebook's coffin right now.
This is how it starts.
Huh.
It's perfect timing because blockchain's getting bigger and bigger. You have things like Brave getting bigger and bigger, and now you have something like this where it's like, man, you got Facebook stumbling a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I just started the archive process on my account today. I don't know if I'm going to delete it, but I wanted to start the archive to get the data, and then I'm going to kind of decide on it from there because you look back at it and maybe it's different for different people, but I don't see the benefits of having Facebook. Like, it's a time waste.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good tool if you're a business trying to market. Because, I mean, the cost for advertising is really cheap, and there's various different content formats you can play with. But I know personally, I use it just because I've been doing it for so long. Like, it's not because I want to do it. It's just like an addiction at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of like when you're driving and you start to space out a little bit. You're like, oh shit, like, I wasn't even thinking about driving. Yeah, it's kind of like that for me. I'll end up on Facebook and not realize how I even got there.
Exactly. You're just sitting there scrolling through your newsfeed for no damn reason.
Unless I have Alzheimer's, but
Yeah. So, and we put this out in an article the other day, but going back to referencing Tron there, Justin Sun came out and said, this is the reason why we need a decentralized social media platform. Take your information back.
Mm-hmm.
And so I believe, so last week on our podcast, we had this Raphael Salmon from Smart Taylor. But the week before that, you and I were talking about Scott Galloway, where I was saying that you needed to break up these big organizations like Facebook, Google, and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, since that podcast, all this stuff has started happening, this delete Facebook movement and everything. So, people think that these big organizations can't be touched, but all they are is a building. All they are is a company with some software. If somebody builds a better platform, take them down.
That's the way it's always been, right? Like, Google wasn't the biggest,
Mm-hmm.
It was just a little startup that had a better idea.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always going to play out. The best product, I think, is always going to win. In the long term, at least.
Yeah.
Short term, it could be a matter of capitalization and stuff like that, but
well, we'll see what happens with this. I want to see how long the trend goes.
Who knows? Next week, Google could be half the size.
Facebook ceases operations.
Exactly. What the hell? Yeah. Nuts.
So that was kind of the main stuff that I had covering. Anything on your radar this week? Do you have any any ideas for any specific articles that you're going to be putting out?
Yeah, so I'm waiting on some funds to clear, but I'm going to do a gincoin masternode, and I'm actually going to record that session, and then probably include that in like a broader article about masternode setup. So that should be done hopefully tomorrow. It might be a little bit more midweek, but that's what's on my radar.
Nice.
And show you guys how to do it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Besides waiting for the 31st, Syscoin Christmas.
Yeah. So I'm still determining what I want to write about this week. I've kind of toying around with the idea that I mentioned to you yesterday, where you look at like countries like Venezuela creating their own cryptocurrency, and then my what if scenario is you see all the issues going on between the state of California and the federal government. What are the possibilities that some state like California were to create their own crypto, and what would the ramifications of that be?
Yeah, that'd be really interesting. Just because federal funding and grants and stuff like that.
That's the problem that I have with writing this article, is that there's so many possibilities, and I don't know if I personally, I call myself out, I don't know if I personally know, what all the ramifications would be to something like that, like.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's so many facets to that question.
Yeah.
Like, it would be impossible for you to know all the answers.
But just imagine that. Imagine if a state tried to do that and bypass federal laws with federal funding and everything. Like,
I mean, if somebody was going to do it, I would say it's probably going to be California.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
they would be a first mover.
California is going to cease all U.S. operations and become their own country.
That's right. But who was that? There was one guy who was trying to break up California into 6 different states. You remember that?
Well, there's been all kinds of movements. There was a movement to take one part of California and secede from the rest of California, because they were like the conservative group that didn't want to deal with what's going on in the state.
Right. West Virginia.
Yeah. West California. North Mexico.
Exactly. Decentralize the country.
That's hilarious. So, is there anything else that we should cover on today's podcast?
I don't think so. I think people should go check out Little Windex. Highly recommend Cleaning Up official video. And then move on to his Bitcoin Cash official video, which, by the way, his Cleaning Up video has over 7 million views.
Jesus.
Like, what? Like, holy shit.
Probably just because they named Little Windex. I mean,
I think we need to bring him on the podcast.
Oh, that would be awesome. That'd be awesome. Well, one thing I'll say is, if you listen to this far into this podcast today, it is, over the next 24 to 40, we'll say 48 hours. Over the next 48 hours, if you have listened this far into this podcast, go to our website, open up this podcast page, and comment below with your Ethereum address, and we will ship a few lucky winners some Ethereum there.
That's right.
That means you listened. So
we appreciate it.
Exactly. And like our page on Facebook and Twitter. Do that as well.
That'll help.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll close out today's podcast. Next week we are going to we don't have anybody lined up, but we're going to plan to have a special guest on. So we'll see who that is. So it's not just my sexy voice along with Billy's, my Bill Clinton voice. Right. And Billy's.
I
have. And check out our upcoming articles this week. Later, guys.
Cool. Peace.